And welcome to another edition of the Wake Up Late with Dougie Show. I am your host, Dougie Almeida, coming to you from Simpsonville, South Carolina. It's Wednesday evening here in the beautiful South Carolina, where I'm not sweating my cojones off. And we got a great show for you today. We got obviously a lot of things have happened in the last week or two. We will put a comedic spin on it if it's possible. And I got two very funny people that are ready to do that. Joining us on today's show is Jimmy Della Valle and L.A. Hardy. Welcome, fellas.
Hey, what's up?
You know, before the show, we were talking about cruise ship comedy, and you guys are both working on the ships. And, everybody keeps saying, why don't I do it? Why don't I do it? Well, it's great money, right, guys? I mean, that's the allure, if I should say that, of doing cruise ship comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of it.
You know, what it is so let's just say, because, I mean, I did the comedy club circuit forever. And when they started saying, we're not going to pay for flight now. We'll give you a voucher. We'll give you a $250 voucher. Well, flights are now $500, $600, whatever they are, they change, right? So now you're like, okay, well, I can make up with that with merchandise. I got to make $400 in merch at least this weekend, right? So now I got to do all these shows. So then I'm in a hotel. So let's say, Dougie, we're working, and the thing, hey, Dougie, or LA, hey, let's go get some lunch. Well, now I got to pay for lunch, right? Now I got to pay for maybe a breakfast, or I got to get a coffee, or whatever it is. So now I'm going 20, 30 a day for 4 or 5 days. When I'm on the ship, I don't pay nothing. They reimburse everything. I don't pay for Uber. I don't, I fly, travel. They give me money to eat food in the airport. You know what I mean? Like, so I just started like really looking at that and going, what am I doing? Is this worth it? And no respect to a loony bins or nothing, which I had worked for years. But that's the perfect example of you go out and you make this much amount of money, which was a great gig. But then when ships came, it was like, because remember, in order to make the money for the loony bin, he was like, do this loony bin, do this loony bin, do this. So you're there for 3 weeks, just like you're on a ship for 3 weeks. So why not do, and remember, you're staying in that condo, so you're not having shows that whole time. You know what I mean? So like when you go do Oklahoma, you do Arkansas, the other one, I forgot. Are you going back home, Dougie, or are you just staying the whole time?
Yeah. I mean, when I do those runs, I like to put at least 2 weeks together. I don't like to do 3 or 4 at a time. I want to be away that long,
right?
So that's crazy.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. LA, what's the best part about it besides the money? Cruise comedy.
It gives you something to do during the day as well, and you got your mental gets out there because you're talking to people, and you're writing like a demon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why? Because all the free time?
The free time and just the amount of time you get on stage. I mean, did Royal, last ship I did, we did 13 shows, 2 shows a night. You can't beat that, man. Personally, I like working that hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, it's great.
I don't consider that work when I'm on stage for some reason. It's not like I'm digging a ditch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it'll take you to a whole new level too. And the greatest thing, so I remember I just started ships maybe a year or 2 in, and my buddy comedian CJ Jones, if you know CJ Jones, he's a killer on Carnival, and he does Comedy Zone. He's a Comedy Zone favorite. So he said to me, he goes, Jimmy, when you get to that comedy club, you're just going to rip it like you've never ripped it before, because you haven't been doing the clubs. He's like, you just been doing ships. So I got to that club, and I was doing different 45s. Like I was like, and the club owner goes, man, you're here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He goes, you did 3 different 45s, completely different 45s. And the thing is, I didn't want to. I was like, I'm just going to do my 45. And next thing you know, I'm throwing in my clean jokes. I'm doing this and that. And then I'm doing more. And I said, holy shit. I got a lot of material, and I owe it all to the ships. I owe it all to the ships, man.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, those are the good things. Any bad things about it that you're not you wish you could change? Let's
Um,
say.
well, sure. I mean, if you there were 4 comedians that were um, picked to come back to the cruise lines, Carnival Cruise Lines, which I love. I'm honored to work at. And July 3rd of 2021, it was me, Chris Wiles, Tim Young, and Ken Boyd. We were the first comedians to come back out. It was the take a chance. Let's see if it's cool. July 3rd of 2021, the pandemic. People are going to wear masks. So audiences were wearing masks. We were wearing a mask until we went on stage. Bam. And then we were scared. And then, what's going to happen? And as the months went on, people were getting quarantined on the ship. And they were like, oh, I don't want to get quarantined. So let me wear my mask. Does the mask work? Does it not? You don't know, whatever. But it kept me safe, man. I wore that mask, and I did not have COVID until I just got COVID June 7th, and I'm home. I got it. I got it at home, and I've worn that mask on that ship every day with the thing, other than when I eat. And as a joke I wrote, I wear the mask. I said, people don't want to wear the mask. I said, I'm a fat dude. I go, I wear the mask, and then I go back to the room and I wear the CPAP machine. So shut the fuck up. So that's just
Dude, I do the same fucking joke.
You do? You wear CPAP? Oh, and and I ain't
man.
seen you.
Changed my life. Changed my life.
Yeah. So it's like we're wearing the mask, and so it just became this whole thing of what the hell, man. Let's be back. And another thing, Dougie, and I'm sure that LA does it. Hey, man, let's just take a moment to realize, holy shit, we're back here enjoying a comedy show instead of performing for my kitty cats. And that's
Zoom
what
show.
really. Yeah, Zoom show. How many Zoom shows did you guys do? Because I did not even 20.
No, I didn't do
No.
double digits.
No.
And I did one that I liked. One. But I got offered hundreds. And I was like, nah, this ain't my thing. If this is me, this is not me. I'm not gonna do comedy like this. I can't do this.
I said the same thing, dude. I said if I'm doing this, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need the audience. You need the laughter. I mean, that's what we're there for, right? When you hear that eruption of laughter, that's the pay for us. I don't know about you guys, but that's the true reward. You know what I mean? When you get to hear the people just, laughing their ass off and looking at the faces, people, just laughing, snot coming out of their nose and shit,
Yeah.
Immediate gratification, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like gambling, play blackjack or poker, instant gratification.
I knew you were going to slip gambling in there somewhere.
I got to slip it in there. I did want to say one other thing, Dougie, and I know that LA can vouch for me. So you don't really know what you are about as a comedian till you do a ship when you have little kids lined up to meet you like your Big Bird.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah.
You're
Some of my best fans are little kids.
Man, dude, and I'm telling you, that'll change your life, Dougie.
Now you mentioned doing crowd work with kids. I mean, that could be fun because I don't know, but kids to me are easy to entertain. I did the what was it, the kosher comedy tour with Steve Marshall, and I remember thinking, he just said, just do 15 minutes, family clean. I'm like, okay, I hope I could do it. And I ended up doing 25 minutes, in front of rabbis. So with the kids, with the family clean and stuff, it's you don't realize it's a lot more act outs. I feel that way. It's a lot more act outs. It's a lot more expression and a little bit of silliness thrown in there where you can add, a lot more time to, right? I mean, kids are easily entertained, and the parents don't give a shit because the parents just, if the kids are laughing, they're happy, right? I mean, that's the big, the kids are laughing, the parents are happy with that. And, and listen, and the money's got to be good. But, it's funny. You said you're telling a CPAC joke. LA's telling a CPAC joke. There's people that say cruise ship comics tell a lot of the same jokes because, in a sense, because there's only so many jokes you can tell and not tell, I guess, because you don't want to be offensive, right? Is that still an issue? You don't want to be offensive. You guys worry about that during a show, LA?
It can be an issue. I mean, somebody can say the wrong thing about you and your ass won't be back on the ship. Probably more so with Royal and say Celebrity or one of the other ones than Carnival. I would think Carnival, you guys get to pretty much do what you want, right?
Yeah, yeah. A big thing is, of course, I'm not black, but LA is black, and comedians of
Yes,
African
LA's black.
American descent are saying the N word a lot. Like I'm seeing it a lot, and you're
Really?
like, yeah. So comics
Yeah.
are saying it. So you're like, woo, and
Wow.
so it's a different thing. So then it became a guideline of like, hey, can we say the not me? It was like, are they able to say it? So then it goes back and forth, like who's gonna say it? Like is the comedy host gonna say something to him? Like this guy's killing, but he might say the N word or something. It's like, I can't say. And I've seen a white comic say the N word, and then he got yelled at by another black comic, and then he goes, yeah, but you say it. He goes, but I'm black, motherfucker. Like, and then he actually called them the N word. The black dude called the dude. So I just started laughing, and I go, man, where do we go? Anyways, oh yeah, my phone just rang. I call it the bat phone. We got a landline because our family's in Latin America, and we got to have the bat phone. I don't know if you guys got a bat phone, landline.
In Florida, we call it the hurricane phone.
Oh, the hurricane phone. That's funny.
Yeah, it's the one that still works after it's all said and done. Well, that's good, man. I mean, listen, I'm going to do it. I am definitely moving up on the material. And I mentioned I want to do a corporate show called The Funny Fiduciary. So that could be a thing. And so we're working on it. But writing material, like you guys, like I think you alluded to this, LA, writing on stage is a lot of times the best place to write, right? Because that's where it just flows. Is that where you're getting a lot of your writing done on stage, LA?
Let me throw you one other thing. The cool part about it is you get to take all of that material that you have that's an hour, 45 or whatever, and condense it into sets. Like I don't know how long your sets are, Jimmy, but with us it's all 20-minute sets. So I've taken my stuff and put it in chunks. 10 minutes, add 10 minutes. 10 minutes, add 10 minutes. But it all comes down to 20, and I can do that in my sleep.
Yeah. So 30 minutes is what we're at Carnival. And then the Mardi Gras, they want you to only do 25 each. So you're just doing 25. So man, I feel like, that's a line I always say. It's like, I wipe my ass with 25. I wipe my ass with 55. Like, it's just like I'm nonstop up there, and I'm trying to like figure out, some guys will come in the ship. Like I saw a guy the other day, and he was just amazing. And I was like, woo, oh, that's a damn near a comedy special. I go, that should be a Netflix special. It was so original, so clever. And then I saw him do the PG, and he was okay. Then I saw him do another adult. Oh, and during the PG, and this is a no-no, Dougie, you can't take your adult material and make it clean.
Right.
The same joke, you just don't swear. You don't talk about sex, like whatever it is. So when you are able to go, hey man, like the most I've ever did was the other day, a comedian had got COVID, and they came to me, and I was supposed to do 5 shows, and they go, can you do how many shows can you do? I go, man, I can do 7 different, completely different. It's the most I've ever done. They go, you think you can cover the other guy? They go, we have to call corporate office and see if you can, if they'll pay for it, if they'll approve it. Otherwise, they would just cut the other guy's shows, and they'd just be like, but the audiences really love the comedy. Dougie, that's another thing. Man, dude,
Yeah, they do.
you don't understand how many times. So I remember like seeing you post where all the different places you're playing, right? So let's say you're playing this club. Can you imagine? Just imagine performing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 shows, right? 2 shows on Saturday, 1 show on Friday, 1 show on Thursday, and the same audience comes every show. What would you do?
Standing in line to see it.
Yeah.
Standing in
Standing
line
in line.
outside. Yeah.
So
Wow.
you got to do a different set.
Yeah.
You got to
yeah.
do a different set. If you can do it, do a different set. But sometimes comics are like, well, I'm going to repeat, so don't come back. Don't come back. And those people
Are there
are like,
com-
oh,
are
yeah,
there
no,
other
I'm not gonna.
other comics that do
And they do
repeat?
come
Are there-
back. They come
Yeah.
back anyway.
Yeah. And when you repeat, can you just think of your best joke, killing in the comedy club on a Friday night, and you do it Saturday night, and the whole audience has already saw it. It might get a laugh,
Yelling out your
but it ain't going.
Yeah,
They're going to yell
the
out your punchline. They might yell out your punchline
punch.
if your setup's too long. So it's I don't know, I mean, I'm still only since 2015 on cruises, but my buddy like Max Dolcelli, who's been around for 25 years doing ships, and these different guys, El Romas, and these guys, I don't know what it was like back then, and were they repeating jokes, or what were they doing, or just surviving? But man, it's changed. It's changed, Dougie. So I'm telling you, you are grooming yourself to be ready for that, especially because you're doing
Yeah.
crowd work.
So you're saying a lot of on the ships, there's a lot of crowd work.
There's
Some
a
people,
lot of
that's
crowd
their
work.
act.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some
I mean,
Some
I
people
people,
did
that's
that's
notice
their
their
act.
act.
I did notice that some comics I've seen on Instagram and stuff. That's all. Like I only post most of the crowd work because that's not material. Like we're not burning material. It's stuff that's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I see that's all I see, and I mean, some of it's funny, some of it's like, here, I've heard this shit, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems like there's a lot of crowd work going on the boat, um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you could
it's
see them.
definitely.
You get this impression that you really can't see the audience, but I'm assuming you could see a lot of the audience, and they want to be a part of it. So, yeah,
It also depends on which ship you're on, because I'll tell you, for example, on Royal, there's 2 rooms that we do comedy in. One is a smaller room, about 110, 115 people, and then there's the big room with 2,000 people. So we only see 110 people per show times 8, 10 shows. That's not even the whole ship. The time that you got to shine is in that big room where you come in and you bring out the big guns.
right,
And
right,
that's where you're really practicing for those shows.
gotcha. And how
Because
about dress attire? You got
the
it
other ones are adult shows. I can do whatever I want.
right. You guys wearing fancy clothes on these things? What's the dress? You can wear anything you want. What is there? Attire?
Anything you want. I mean, I wear a button-up shirt and jeans and sneakers, like nice sneakers or whatever. When I started, I wore dress pants, button-up shirt, shoes. And then I just started looking at other comics, and even comics that I knew on Royal or Princess that weren't wearing suits. Now, some guys wear suits. I'm a bigger guy, I sweat my ass off, so I don't like to,
Yeah.
wear a suit, but a button-up shirt, I guess. So, I had posted about it. I think it was like 6 months ago or something about, man, I wore a t-shirt tonight, just jeans, and I felt really loose and everything. And I had a big manager that knew me for years, and they messaged me and go, hey, you look great. They go, you're always funny. They said, but you wearing a t-shirt and wearing jeans and sneakers, that just makes you look like you're trying to be a younger comic. Like you're faking it. That's not really who you are. He
Yeah.
goes, you're the plaid shirt, you're the button up. He goes, you're not the suit guy. He goes, but you're not the t-shirt guy. You know how like the younger comics that
Yeah.
are like just growing, they're coming through the improvs and the Tampa and the Florida. They're just like, and you're like, well, these kids don't know anything. Look at the way they dress, but it doesn't matter because some kids got it and that's their style. So
Right.
like
Well,
what LA's wearing is a lot of comics will wear. A bathrobe.
I do both. I
You know,
go I go I go dress up.
bathrobe.
I go dress up and dress down.
Yeah.
If I wear a T-shirt, generally I'll have jewelry on. If I'm wearing a button up, generally I don't think I've worn a tie yet ever. But I like looking somewhat fashionable, man. I like looking like I've been somewhere, like I do things.
I respect that. Like I
I try to I take on the attitude that we used to have back in the day. Always outdress the crowd.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like Jimmy. I'm a big guy, especially when I'm on the road. I don't want to bring shirts that I got to fucking dry clean and iron and shit. I'd rather just get a cool T-shirt. Like you said, nice. I wear colored, nice shoes. Dressy shoes, nice jeans, and a T-shirt. But I'll have a jacket. Some sort of jacket. Whether it doesn't necessarily be a sports coat, it could just be a jacket, and that just is more of a look. Like you said, it's part of who you are, and that's what people have said. He goes, "Look, you look like a mafia guy." So you if you're going to wear a suit, that's one thing. But if you're going to wear, yeah, exactly.
So see, that was the time I wore the T-shirt, right? But you see, the other one is like in a nice button up. That's it, right? And then the other one's like a plaid shirt. Can you see the plaid shirt?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see it, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you know what I mean? So, and that's it. It just came to, it's almost like your comedy voice. Hey man, find my voice. Find what I'm gonna wear on stage. I mean, if you know CJ Jones, he's like the best dressed. I mean, my man wears a different pair of socks, and they're not just like white socks, they're just designer socks. He got a belt. He's got a watch for his show. He got a little bow tie. You guys know who CJ is? I mean, he's just like an amazing dresser. Like, you're like, woo! And then you got another guy. Sometimes a guy just might wear, he might wear the hoodie and a T-shirt or whatever it is. Yeah. And a perfect example was when I first was coming up, I had asked Chappelle. I said, hey, man, I like to wear a baseball hat. He's like, man, it doesn't matter what you wear. He goes, he's like, I wear a baseball hat. I wear what, he's like, it don't matter. He's like, as long as you're confident or you feel good in it. And when we started watching Chappelle's show, it wasn't, Dave ain't wearing a suit. Remember, he would wear like a nice jacket with like a T-shirt, some jeans and sneaks, whatever. And my wife would go, man, I love the way he dresses. Yeah. And I told her, I said, that's his style. That's his brand.
Yeah. I think being comfortable. I think being comfortable is real important. You know what I mean? Like I said, nothing worse I hate than sweating when I'm on stage.
I'm sweating during this. I'm sweating during this. But I live in the desert. I live in the desert now, though. I moved to Palm Springs, so it's 120 degrees right now, people.
Oh, fucking hell, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So listen, and plus my let me just say this. My producer says he has a storm at the studio, so we got to keep an eye on it in case we lose power and this thing gets all fucked. So let's go to some of these topics. Big announcement. The Supreme Court announced the turning over of Roe v. Wade. I'm not going to ask you guys how you feel about the subject, but have you guys? I've avoided making political statements on LA and I have talked about this, but I've avoided making my opinion be known on subject matters like this. But unfortunately, as a financial advisor of 32 years, and we're talking about other shit with oil and the prices and stuff, you guys don't. I never see you guys do it. How do you guys avoid getting into it in social media with people that you just know are completely fucking boobs?
Tell you one thing I do. I see what they're writing. I write down an answer, and then I erase it and go on with my life.
Good idea.
I'm not getting into that. People. I can't do it. I'm not. Matter of fact, some people I can't even have a conversation about stuff like this. So I just don't. It's real simple. I'll tell you one other thing that changed my life, brother. I have not watched network news since before Trump was elected at night. Don't watch no television news. Changed my life. I do this other
Yeah.
thing. It's called reading. Yeah, I do this thing called reading.
Yeah. Reading stories.
I'm
I
into
mean,
that.
it's it's obvious, it's definitely creating more of a divide than we already had in this country. As comics, you got two things. You got any Roe v. Wade jokes? Is that something you guys would write a joke about? And or two, how do you deal with that? I mean, especially on the cruise ships. I mean, you don't get political. There's not, you don't really do much political humor or anything like that on the ships, do you?
Mm.
I don't.
No. So yeah, no, I
I
don't.
touch a few things in the adult show, but that's about it. You, Jimmy?
Yeah, yeah, no, I won't talk about it. About the Roe versus Wade. I will talk about when, like, I'll tell you guys. So, as when we're younger, I'm 50. When I was younger, girls would lie and say, "Hey, I'm pregnant," and you'd be like, "Hmm, what are we gonna do?" And they're like, "Well, I'm gonna do, what my right is." And like, okay, well, you do, that's fine. So I had several girls over the years say that, but because of Facebook and the way things are and whatever social media, I had a girl that was coming to one of my shows, and I was doing a theater, and she's like, me and my husband just bought tickets and blah 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 blah, and she's like, hey, I want to let you know, I was a young girl. Um, you were young, I was young, and I lied back then. She told
Wow.
me, and she lied, and then she said she went and took care of it, and she was never. You know what I
She,
mean? So
so
that's a
she did she
fucked
give
up
you
situation.
did she give you back the 250?
No, it was out the back of a van in Brooklyn, so
Yeah.
it was cheaper than 250. You got a hot water dog and that. No, I just it really upset me. To this day, it's really fucked me up. And
Yeah.
I deleted and blocked her. I could never speak to her again. And I mean,
Yeah.
her, and I even I didn't speak to her. She came to my show, and I was like disgusted. Like, oh my god, how could you do that? And I talked to a woman about it, and she goes, well, that's her right. That was her right to lie about it. And I was like, wow, that's like the most fucked
Uh,
up thing you could say. That's
yeah.
her
I
right
don't.
to lie
Yeah.
that she was pregnant. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
I got one
that's a
better
little.
for you.
Yeah.
I had one do the same thing to me. The difference was she wasn't lying, and she tried to hang the baby on me. She had it. She took it one step further. She brought the baby to my parents' house and introduced him to my parents.
Wow.
And then when I wanted to get some visitation, that's when she jumped up and said the baby's not yours. After she took us through all of that. And I guess the same thing could be true. That's her right. And it is.
Yeah.
It's her body.
Yeah.
She can do whatever she wants.
And yeah, and of course I never talk about this on stage or nothing, but yeah, I mean that's just, it's so fucked up. I mean, and then you're like, well, I wish you would have just shit in my bed like Amber Heard.
Yeah.
So
That would have
that's
been much easier to do it. And just left
There's
the
the
fucking
joke.
hanky. Yeah. There you
there's
go.
the joke, right? Yeah. No,
My only
I don't
personal
like to get.
story about that is when I met my wife, she was a single mom, and I think about, what happened, and being asked to leave the house because she didn't get it, and this and that, and she raised her, and if she had aborted her, we wouldn't have her daughter today.
Mhm.
It's just one of these things. It's one thing if it's really a pressing, challenging thing and stuff like that, but it's another if it's just, oh well, got to get rid of it. Selfish thing, just getting
But
rid of a
see,
life because of
therein lies the rub, Dougie. You now have a daughter, right?
right.
Mhm.
Would you want her to have her own choice, regardless of what that choice is?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely I think no matter what it is, that child. What I do say is that child should be consoled or counseled on all the options. Number one, and they should also be
Sure.
aware that should they choose that there could be some recourse. That people. There's a lot of people that make that decision and gratefully regret it many years later, if not even shortly thereafter. So it's an important decision to not just be made like that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Frontman from Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong, renounces U.S. citizenship because of the Roe v. Wade decision. I don't know if you guys are Green Day fans, but when somebody says they're going to now become an English citizen, a British citizen over something like that, I mean, really? I mean, come on. I mean, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I blame him, bro. I mean, everybody's got to make a choice for themselves. That dude's had a lot of time going over living international, so it's not like it's a big stretch for him.
That's true. Yeah. I guess he likes the fish and chips. This is a funny, to get on the political stuff, I thought this was a funny story. Nancy Pelosi pushes daughter of the newly elected Mexican congresswoman out of New Mexico, I think it was. Let's roll the video of this. You guys tell me if this is a push. That stupid hand out there. Look at that. Look, watch. There you go. Little nudge.
Oh my God. Nancy Pelosi pushed a little girl. It's hilarious.
I love it.
She did.
I love it.
She did.
That's
She
a
did
push.
push it.
Now, the quick question is, I don't want to say out of line, but that's you. And Nancy Pelosi, here's the thing. I hate hypocrisy. Nancy Pelosi claims to be a God-fearing woman and she's Christian and da-da-da-da-da, and I mean, listen, you could say you're all, that to me is just, that is an epitome of her true inner soul. You know what I mean? She doesn't give a fuck.
She was just teaching the child about social distancing.
Yeah, it's social distancing, right? Think about how many times we do our show and the audience comes up to us and that one guy or girl stands in front of you. Oh my God, you were so funny. Oh my God, I really like you. And you're like, bitch, get out the way so I can sell some merch. you appreciate it. So I literally took my hand and said, excuse me, just I'll talk to you after. Thank you so much, and then they're like, yeah, right back in your face because they love you. So I only saw the video once that you just showed. Was she smiling when she did the like? Get out the way. Someone should put that like in. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Someone fucking should sample that.
Bitch,
Vanessa, you gotta see this. Nancy Pelosi,
it looks like
a kid.
It looks like she's trying not to hit her in the head when she's waving around.
Yeah,
with that fucking
looks like
Nancy Pelosi.
She's doing all this, and so she's trying not to bash the chick in the head.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi with her fucking hands up in the air. I thought that was a great video. All right. Let's do it. Let's get into this. It's time for the news is a joke. This is where us comics go over some stories and try to find some humor in them. Naomi Osaka, the famous tennis player, right? Very good. And LeBron James project ripped by the name with explicit Swahili meaning. This is a great story. You hear the story of the car maker GM when they sent the Nova to South America and Central America. They said the new Chevy Nova, but in Spanish that means Nova, doesn't go. So you never know. These people in marketing. When they had, remember there was the one kid that they showed a black kid, all these monkeys. Or was it a barrel full of monkeys? Remember these people, right? There's a bunch of these ads. You just how the fuck did that happen? Well, this is a great. What happened to? There you go. They
said something racial, and he said, "Fuck you, I'm off."
Exactly. They named LeBron
Jimmy
James.
Knows me.
That's right. Jimmy, Naomi, and LeBron James named their group the Hanakuma, which in Japanese means flower bear. Okay, it's nice. But in Swahili, it means a woman with no vagina.
Why is Swahili even considered in this?
I just, you know what I mean? Big basketball fans in Swahili. In Kenya and Tanzania. Yeah, in Kenya and Tanzania means
So are
a
you
woman
trying to
with.
say Swahili is a place in Africa, Dougie? I'm
Yeah,
confused.
yeah,
You're like big
yeah.
basketball fans in Swahili, like it's a
And
part of Africa. It's a fucking language.
The language.
yeah.
Well, listen, Billy Joel has been to England a lot. I've never been to Africa, but yeah, the spoken language Swahili means a woman with no vagina, which is several of the women in California at this moment. Um,
Right.
yeah, it's just amazing when somebody doesn't do some follow up. I mean, I guess it would be hard. I mean, I don't know Swahili. You guys speak any Swahili?
I don't even
Think
know
so.
why Swahili is mentioned in this. I
This
mean,
is
if I say
stupid.
the
That's
word,
why
if I say
you
the word
mentioned.
crib, if I say the word crib, what does that mean in Swahili? Should I not say the word crib?
That means man with no nuts.
I
I
don't
mean,
get it.
man's with feather dick. That's what that means.
I'm,
We are
I'm
in a
trying to understand how these two things come together.
No,
well,
it doesn't make sense.
yeah. Well, big thing that her and LeBron James. By the way, who is the greatest of all time when it comes to basketball? Let me ask you first, L.A. Hardy. Who's your favorite? Who's the best of all time basketball player?
That would be me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm from Cleveland. I'm a LeBron fan, but you got to go with, if you go with just championships, you got to say Bill Russell.
I just had somebody tell me that he's they never hear his name, but he's one of the greatest of all time. Probably a
13
lot less
championships.
probably a lot less competition in that day. He had a lot of white. He had a lot
He
more
played
white
against
boys
Wilt.
on. Yeah,
He played
well, that
against
was it.
Wilt
Yeah, but
and
back
beat him
then the NBA
repeatedly.
back then the NBA was like 70% white. So I mean, come on, that's they weren't all in the Boston Celtics. What about
Who's your
you?
favorite? Who's your number one?
My
Jordan?
favorite is the
Magic.
black guy in this picture.
Yeah.
Magic?
Yeah. Those are the game
Magic's my
changers right
favorite.
there.
If you're watching Winning Time, the series, you learn so much.
I
I
know.
mean, that you didn't know. It's
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal. But Lakers has always been my favorite team my whole life. So
Yeah.
Magic. I remember I went to Kurt Rambis' house. It was hilarious. My mom and dad had visited from New York, and we went to, I think it was Manhattan Beach. And my mom's like, yeah, I want to go see my friend. She lives in Manhattan Beach. And I was like, oh, I'm like, okay. So we go, and I'm like, who's this fucking white, tall dude washing his car? And then I'm looking, I go, is that Kurt Rambis? I'm like, Kurt Rambis. Like, I ran over, and it's like, it was just amazing to like, oh my God. And he lived right next to him, and I'm talking
Wow.
to him. And but Magic Johnson, by far my favorite. But of course, then you had your Jordan, and then Kobe was never my favorite.
Yeah.
But he was a
Bill
killer.
Russell. Bill Russell was amazing. But and then Wilt the Stilt. No one ever got more points than him in his whole thing. I mean, so in one game, no one
Kobe's coming
112.
closest with 80.
Kobe
Yeah.
got 80, but he got 112. Is that what it was?
Now, was Wilt Chamberlain the one who supposedly slept with 5,000 women? Was that
Yes.
Wilt the
10,000.
guy? Yeah. 10,000?
No,
Wow.
that was Steve Marshall. I
You
love
said
Steve.
real women.
I'm gonna get Steve on Ships too, because
Yeah,
I've known him a long time. We had to talk about it the other day. So yeah,
he'd be great.
Well, hey man, just for shits and giggles, mention me to Lizette and see what happens. See if
I'm
something
going
can happen.
I'm going to, because I don't understand how you're blows me away. It's like you're a veteran. You've been working forever, and if you're working on Royal, it's easy slide in, man.
Well, there you go. Our next story: too much mayo. Subway customer arrested after shooting 2 employees, killing 1 over sandwich order. Too much mayo. It happened in Atlanta.
We got to do something about this black on white crime, man.
Atlanta police responded
Happened
to
in Atlanta. You know that was a brother.
Yeah, that could have been Circle K gas station intersection. Listen, I don't ever go. I hate when I pull up at Dunkin' Donuts when I'm on the road. I want to go get a Dunkin' Donuts in the morning, and I go there and it's in a gas station. I'm like, fuck, I just want to go to a regular. There's a big difference between a Dunkin' Donuts and a gas station, and one that's a freestanding building on its own, right?
Well, have you
I
ever been
agree,
to
and
the
I agree. It's hard to buy food.
The
L.A. real
Dunkin'
quick.
Donuts in Vegas? Disgusting.
Yeah.
It's hard to buy food in a gas station anyway for me. I mean, anything that's in a gas station, I got a problem
Yeah.
with.
Potato chips are good. Potato chips,
Well,
soda.
prepackaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a
Maybe you should,
favorite? You have a favorite potato chip?
I like these new
Frito-Lay.
Lays.
Yeah,
You both like Frito
Frito-Lay.
Lay's?
Yeah. I like the Lay's. Lay's is I
I
like
like
a sour
there's a
cream and
new.
onion.
Okay. I like the
Yeah.
Lay's. It's an all natural one. It's not the regular yellow. It's a different yellow and white. They've taken stuff out of it or whatever. But
Like
yeah,
a
real
baked,
crunchy. I like
like a
it. Not
baked
baked. I
potato.
don't like baked. I
Yeah, a
don't
little
like baked.
crunchy. That shit'll fuck up your teeth.
And your
Police
butthole.
in this story, police said the woman was killed. Who was killed was 26-year-old. A 24-year-old employee was shot in the front of her 5-year-old son, and is now in critical condition. Relative, let's see, the co-owner. Blah blah blah. There was something wrong with the sandwich that made him so upset that he decided to take his anger out on the two employees. Wow.
Well, he's going to have a good time taking that anger out on the fellows in jail with him.
That's right.
Right.
Because his sandwiches ain't going to be that good there.
No, he's going to be complaining about that bologna.
And shitty mayonnaise.
And
Speaking of
and his roommate Oscar Mayer has a way of
my bologna has a first name.
first name.
It's get on your knees. Speaking of shit, Lee, our next story: Oklahoma man leads authorities on pursuit, found hours later hiding in cow manure. They won't find me here.
What was he running from? What was his crime?
Man was arrested. Let's see, 23-year-old Wolf October Berry initially fled from officers who were attempting to make a traffic stop only for not wearing a seatbelt. Not wearing a seatbelt. I think if you're not wearing a seatbelt, I think the worst it could cost you is $50.
Yeah.
So he jumped into cow manure. He jumped into hiding cow manure.
Now, mind you, he's in Oklahoma. So
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at that first. And I wonder if the cops were even chasing him. The guy's probably freaking out. He's all messed up. Fuck, they're gonna catch me. And he runs through a field. Oh, I want to hide in that shit. They'll never find me here.
He probably wasn't even hiding it. He probably just rubbed it all over himself.
Yeah, he thought he was in Predator. He thought the Predator was chasing him, and he couldn't see the infrared. I'll just put this shit all over me. Oh,
Did you say he was on meth? Did you say he was on meth?
No, I'm just assuming.
Oh, just assuming. Okay. Wow.
Oh yeah, actually, he fled from the police with his car until he crashed his car, and then ran through a field and saw a big pile of shit and said, "You know what? There's my hiding spot." Yeah, there you go.
Right next to my crashed car.
Yeah.
So he had the runs. That's what it was. He had the runs. Yeah. So he ran from his car.
Yeah. That's the real thing. He's probably embarrassed because he shit himself because he was so scared. And he goes, "Oh, they won't think it's me if I just lay in this shit."
Yeah.
They won't be able to
tell who shit this is.
Yeah. So, well, what about the cop that had to take it off? He's like, "No way, Bernie. I'm not doing it this time." Like, you take him. You're the rookie. Yeah. Go in the shit. You slumdog this motherfucker this time.
Yeah. You put the handcuffs
on.
Just
say he's got COVID. Just say he's got COVID. Leave his ass here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
he's going in your car. No, he's going in your car. No, he's going in your car. That's fucking
not
great.
This time.
I don't know if you guys would be interested in this, but Amazon's Alexa could soon mimic voice of dead relatives.
I saw that. That's crazy.
Right?
Oh,
I mean,
I don't know that I want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You want to hear your great aunt, Hey, Alexa, can you change the channel? Why don't you get up, you fat boy, and do some running around, you
Exactly.
fucking lazy fuck, Andy. Um, yeah, I mean,
Dude, I
listen,
was so drunk last night, I thought I heard my mom.
yeah, could you imagine? I mean, fuck. I mean, nostalgia is going a little too far. These companies, tech companies, are just trying to be one over on each other. But
Yeah.
um, I would rather have it be like,
Who's their voiceover agent in heaven or hell? I got you a gig. It's got a pretty good gig. That's it. I'm writing it down. That's the bit. That's their voiceover agent in hell.
I mean, you'd have to have some sort of voice recording of that person, right? You have to have some sort of
Right?
recording
Yeah.
to mimic it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be much better if it was just famous people. Like if your Alexa was like
Exactly.
Rodney Dangerfield or something, like, "Hey, it's time to take the garbage out." you know, Alexa,
like
make the
that.
Right.
TV lower.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Mine would be
That's
Jim Florentine. All right, dude, it's time to go away. It's time to go to sleep. Don't be a rookie. All right.
That's a good Florentine.
Yeah, I keep
Does Jimmy still do this joke? We're in Montreal. I'll never forget it. He did this joke. He goes, "My girlfriend's pussy was so wet that I was down there eating it, and I saw a fucking little man in a canoe go by." So you still do that
I don't.
joke?
He's turning over a lot of material. One of my favorite jokes. It was funny because I gave him a tag on it. Was he tells a joke about, I guess when him and he was with this chick and he was trying to fuck her and she wanted. I'm not going to fuck you unless you have a condom. So he grabbed Saran wrap and wrapped his dick with Saran wrap, and he fucked her with
Oh
Saran
my
wrap
God.
around his dick. And I said,
Love it.
and I told him, I said, yeah, boy, was she glad.
Oh,
That's the way to end that one.
did he try the
That's good.
tag?
I don't know. I don't think so. But here, let me ask you that. It's funny because I was recently working with somebody. I've been working with Steve Trevino and his opening act, and I gave him a tag. He told a joke, and it's a funny joke, and I said this, and it was funny because after the show, we're hanging out, and he goes, the funniest joke you told tonight, you didn't even write. So, but I was happy because the comic used it. The comic, I told him, and the one show, the next show, he used it. Which a
Right.
lot of times people don't do. I mean, I'll try the tag. If somebody gives me a tag, I'll try it in an open mic or something. But pretty surprised that the person tried it at a show. You ever do that? You
You
guys
know,
ever give somebody a tag? You ever suggest tags to other fellow comics?
oh, dude, I'm the king of it.
Jimmy's the
Like on
king
the
of that.
ship, the
Yeah.
people, I sit there and watch your set, and I literally go, boop, 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 boop. I tag people's jokes. So Russ Nagel, if you know Russ Nagel, great friend of mine, man, we're on the ship and we'll like be doing 2 back-to-backs, and he'll be like, dude, I tried 2 of those tags, they work great. And it's like, and I'm like, really? You tried it already? And then sometimes I'll give a joke to somebody and they just won't like do it. Rich Voss was one of my mentors, so I would give one to Richie, and he goes, I don't take tags. He goes, I don't ever want to have a joke from anybody other than myself. And I was like, okay, I respect it. So like he told me right away, but I was a young comic then, but I was opening for him, and Rich was always great to me. But that was one thing he was like, I'll never forget. We were at Caroline's, and I was like, yo, I got a tag for you. He goes, I don't take tags. And I go, okay, all right. So just,
Interesting.
but most comics do. And so I can kind of be a little like aggressive and not know you. Like I could just like work with you once on the ship and be like, yo, Dougie, you were really funny, man. I'll be like, I got tags if you want them. And like, nah, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go over them tomorrow or something. And I've already written them all, and boom, boom, and then we'll have lunch or something. You'll be like, holy shit, I never saw that.
Yeah.
So I was always good at it, but I became great at it during COVID. We had writing sessions every week for 2 years. Comics from all over the place were coming into my Zoom, and they were literally getting fine-tuned and calling me, go, I can't believe these jokes that you've figured out, and the setups, because a lot of comics will do a setup and do what they think is the punchline, and I'll
Right.
go, listen, take every joke you write and write 10 different punchlines and try them. That's stage time. In New York City, we did shows, we did 20 to 30 shows a week. So just be like being on ships. It's like if you're going to be out there, he just said he did 13 shows a week or whatever it was, right? So that's freaking 39 shows. So if I give him a tag on the third show in those next 2 weeks, if LA don't use them, I sometimes will be like, yo, I'm going to do it. Right? And he'll go, yeah, but you don't have a joke. I'm like, well, I'll fucking write a joke around the punchline because it's so damn good.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, well, you know what, man, Matt, maybe I better do it then. Like, you know?
I definitely, I'm similar to that because it's easier for me to have somebody to write a joke for somebody else, you know, 'cause especially if they put it out there because you're thinking from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Ben, is that you? Okay. Next story: French's unveils Canada's next favorite summer treat: ketchup flavored ice pops. Boy, fucking Canadians are fucked up.
These are the same people that put mayonnaise on French fries.
Now, I got to tell you, I've taken the ketchup mayonnaise on French fries. I've had both, and I'll dip one and then the next. I've tried that, pretty good. But fucking ice cream?
Yeah. Well, they have poutine, right? Poutine. Canada has a lot of crazy.
What'd you call me, bitch?
Poutine over here.
What's up?
Yeah,
Says here,
I don't know.
Frenchicle, a ketchup-flavored ice pop created by French's the condiment maker, will be releasing the new summer snack for a short time only. Can't be short enough.
I can't even imagine the taste.
From the makers of the McRib.
I've never eaten a McRib. You guys had a McRib?
Oh yeah,
I have.
Yeah,
I have. I've had one. My friend comedian Will C. It's like he's infatuated with the McRib. I think he's got a McRib shirt. During McRib, he has like McRib parties. He loves the McRib. He posts about it. Oh my God, it's McRib season! Like he books himself around if the place that has the McRib available. I mean, he's pretty into the McRib, and
that's that TV. We did a movie with Matt Flores. It was Ask Aldo, and I was a mafia guy, of course. And one of my lines was, "What's up? Why can't McDonald's bring the McRib all year round? What the fuck? Why can't they? Why don't they get rid of the the McFish? You know, who the hell goes to McDonald's and gets a McFish
I hope
sandwich?"
they took a couple takes because you suck.
Holy shit.
Like
thank you, fucking CCD. Thank you, Scorsese.
What the fuck?
All right, take two, motherfucker. Oh. What the fuck? Why can't they have the McRib all year round? Why don't they get rid of the McFish sandwich? Who eats the McFish sandwich? All right. All right, our last story, everybody.
A lot better. Holy shit, was that a lot better. Hey, and not to get off, have you guys watched The Offer?
No.
It's the story of The Godfather. It's on Paramount Plus. You can get it. I think you can get it for free on a trial. It's the best show out, man. It's 10 episodes of the story behind The Godfather. It's scripted, and the actor Miles Teller, who was in War Dogs, which is a phenomenal movie with Jonah Hill, he plays this guy named Albert Ruddy, and they show that they never wanted to make The Godfather. There were so many things. The mafia was against it. Man, you guys will love it. Oh my God.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Cool. And our last story, drunk mayor crashes car after meeting families of drunk driving victims. I mean, you know, this is when you know we're close to the end of the world, right? Because, you know, there's just so much. You got fucking Pelosi pushing little Spanish chicks, you know, little Spanish kids. You know, we got fucking all kinds of craziness. But an Australian mayor's drunk driving crash just 1 hour after she met with the families of drunk driving victims. Redland City Mayor Karen Williams admitted to drinking several glasses of wine before crashing her car into a tree, and oddly enough, she hid in cow shit after.
Yeah, yeah. So you're saying they went to a drunk driver's not meeting or whatever it was, and then got into a drunk driving accident?
Yeah, she went to console victims of drunk driving. Oh, I can't do my Australian accent right now. You know,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry
Yeah.
for you guys. You know, it's a tragedy. Those people are going to be put behind bars. Those bastards. You know. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bam, and then bam, she freaking got in an accident. So that's like, I'm not going to say it. If you know the answer, you'll know the answer. So there's a famous comedian who had, and I think it's probably pretty normal for comedians or actors or whoever, singers, right, to go into the press and go, look, I'm not gonna do coke anymore. That was me. I was younger, and thank you so much. And I went to rehab, and good luck, and say no to drugs. And they walk off, bam, and they're doing cocaine. You know what I mean? It's the same story, So, oh my God, what a hypocrite piece of junk. And so, is she going to jail?
Yeah. Well, I know she was arrested. Obviously, she stepped down, etc. But I don't know if you guys knew this, but Australia has one of the world's highest rates of car accidents.
Oh, wow!
Because they're avoiding the kangaroos.
Yeah, the fucking kangaroos and
they're everywhere. I've done. I've spent some time over there, and man, I've never hit one, but all my friends have hit fucking kangaroos. Everybody I know that lives in. Can you? I think about it. I've never hit a deer, and you think there's got to be deers everywhere. Knock on wood. But imagine every person I know, and I know like 30 of them that have hit.
All right, since you fucking corrected my acting, let me say something to you, Jimmy. There's not deers everywhere. Okay, there's deer everywhere. Okay,
yeah.
Just because you got your fucking
fiduciary stock exchange.
All these fucking deers everywhere. Got all these fucking.
Well, that's how we talk. That's how I talk. Yeah.
Well,
oh my God. I add a plural to all my animals.
You're like my wife. My wife's Asian, so she puts plurals on everything. She's like, we have to go to the shows and get the groceries. And I'm like, fuck, honey. I mean, enough S's. Well, that's all we have time for here on the Wake Up Late with Dougie Show. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. And in closing, any final thoughts, plugs you want to share with us, LA?
The Dry Bar special just came out June 11th. What else? Just look for me all over the place, man. My website, thereallahardy.com. That's getting redone. And just look for me out here in these streets.
There you go. Jimmy?
So my name is Jimmy Delavalle, jimmydelavalle.com. You're not going to remember that. So just go to funnyjimmy.com. And if you can't remember that, go fuck yourself. And that's what I'm talking about.
There you go. It's great having you guys on. And thank you so much for being on the show. And we look forward to seeing you guys soon. Until then, you got it, guys. And stick around before we go. But that's it for our show today. We got a lot of great shows coming up. We actually have Ahmed and Mike Kaplan going to be on the show in a few weeks. We'll take a break somewhere in there because I'm going to be out of town. But don't forget to follow us on our Twitter at Wake Up Dougie, on Instagram, Wake Up Late with Dougie Show. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Wake Up Late with Dougie Show. We really want to get that number up, obviously. And if you're watching this, you're probably watching us on our fan page on Facebook. So tell your friends, share the video. We do appreciate it. And you can also follow me at Dougie Dangerous on Instagram and at Funny Fiduciary at TikTok and on Twitter. God bless everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you here next time at the same spot. Take care.
Wake up. Wake up.